Yeah, now it's quite visual.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to talk to you about the status, challenges, and regulation of Indian renewable energy sector. So before going to this topic, I just would like to tell you that what is the growth pattern of the energy and consumption pattern for the middle developed country and the lower developing country. So as you know that for any data or any analysis pertaining to electricity sector, the authorized agency is the International Energy Agency, having headquarters in Paris, and we, like India, is part of one country which is a participating country of International Energy Association. So they have done one studies long back in 2007 or 8, and they have projected that world would be needing around 400 QBTU now in 2008 and 10, and they're saying that the share of the middle developed country is around 270 QBTU, and the share of the lower developing country is around 130 QBTU. And based on this analysis, they have also done many projections for if the business will work as usual. Then they have done the projection for 2050, and they have projected that by 2050 the world would be needing around 800 QBTU, and the share for the middle developed country would be around 320, and the share of the lower developing country would be around 480 QBTU. And at that time, the long back, 10 years back, the India and China was considered as a lower developing country, but now we cannot say them lower developing country. China is a very advanced country, and India is also known as a transitional economy. And no one can say that we are not developed, no, no, now developed country. Now in many parameters we are doing very good. So as far as the projection is concerned, the major demand in future will come from the country which belongs to the southern Asian country and China. And so the future is with the growth will come from these two countries only. And because why this country will be having more growth rate, because in future they will be, people are having more money, the GDP growth rate is very good, people can afford to buy many things. And as you all know that one of the very important indicator for judging the performance of any nation and the judging the economy of any nation is the per capita consumption. So if we can see that in India, we know that Indian economy, the main strength is our population, which is around 1.35 billion, more than that now. And we require growth we required for eliminating our poverty and providing minimum living standard to the people of our country. And in as far as electricity sector is concerned, we are number third in the world with around 375 gigawatt installed capacity after US and China. And we are number fourth as far as renewable energy is concerned in the world. And we have a very ambitious renewable energy capacity expansion program. I will cover this in the next slides. And we are actually the second amongst the emerging economies in the world which are doing and taking transition to the clean energy in future. So we are, we all know that in the Paris Summit, Climate Change Summit, India did a commitment of adding around 175 gigawatt from the renewable energy sources. And out of this 175 gigawatt expansion plan by 2022, the 100 gigawatt is supposed to come from the solar. But now the government of India with the Modi ji's ownership, we know that he is liking the high figures. So we have just changed our targets, and we are hoping that by 2022, instead of adding 175 gigawatt by renewable energy, we would be adding around 225 gigawatt renewable energy. And as far as wind is concerned, we are having capacity of around 36,625 megawatt. But we are number fourth largest wind power producer in the world. And we are also the seventh largest producer of hydroelectric power in the world. And the very important thing which took place in our country after the Electricity Act 2003 is that private player has done a lot of contribution as far as generation capacity is concerned. So presently we are having around 46% contribution of our total installed capacity by the private player, and this is quite significant. And we all know that we are having the home of the world first and only 100% solar powered airport, which is located in Kochi, Kerala. So we can very proudly say that our one of the airport is 100% solar powered. Four of the top 7 largest solar parks worldwide are in India, including the second largest solar park in the world at Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh, with a capacity of 1000 megawatts. So these are some highlights which shows us that in which direction our country is moving, and that is making us proud. And the world largest solar plant in Bhandala Solar Park is being constructed in Rajasthan with a capacity of 2,255 megawatt. This is the world largest solar power plant in Rajasthan. India is the first country in the world to set up a ministry for non-conventional energy resources. So we can very proudly say that we are the one who initiated that there should be a dedicated ministry for the promotion of non-conventional energy resources. So as of February 2019, the total renewable power installed capacity, excluding larger hydro in the country, stood to be 75. Now in 2020, the figure is around 90 gigawatt. India accounts for approximately 4% of total global electricity generation and contributes around 4.43% to the global renewable electricity capacity. And more than US $42 billion has been invested in India in the renewable energy sector since 2014, and new investment in the clean energy in the country is reaching to be US $11.1 billion in 2018. So if we can see the growth pattern, then we can very well see that with the help of this figure that India installed capacity has done a remarkable growth after 1960s, and we have also have increased pattern for the per capita consumption, and we have also now can proudly say that our villages are 100% electrified. So these are some important figures, and as I've already discussed this, that coal is still a dominating source for installed capacity, but we know that we are moving and exploring another resources for adding into the total installed capacity. If we see our energy production by the sources from the year 1974 to 2017, we can extend this, and the same kind of pattern we can observe. Then we can see that the domestic energy production has steadily increased for several decades, and it is dominated by coal and bioenergy. And this figure is from the, as I mentioned you, for any figure, if many of you are interested for doing your PhDs and many of you are doing research in the area of renewable energy or energy sector or power sector, the major source for getting good authentic data is the International Energy Agency. And each year, this International Energy Agency is publishing their annual report. And this annual report is worth actually reading, so that you can get the overall picture that what is happening in the world as well in my area. So I will prefer and I will suggest everyone to please go and visit this site of International Energy Agency, and please try to read their annual report. Initially for the year, like they have recently gave the executive summary of the year 2019-20, and the whole report you cannot download because that is you have to purchase. But the next year if you buy, if you go and see that, this report after 1 year is available free of cost. So you need not to spend money. You can read and refer the report after 1 year. So you can see that the pattern of the energy growth by or energy production by source, the major source and major chunk is coming still from coal and the natural resources and bioenergy. The share of the other renewable energy, which is shown in the blue color and the green color, is the bioenergy and waste, is small as compared to the sources from thermal and bio. And if you see the proportion of population with access to electricity, so if you can see the development goal, sustainable development goal, then 4 or 5 goals among the 16 sustainable development goal of the world, the 4 or 5 goals are related to our area of power and energy. And one of the sustainable development goal, SDG goal, is to give the access of electricity to everyone in the world. So if you can see that how we are having giving access to our electricity to all of our population, then you will feel very elevated. And the blue color will show about the world population access, proportion of the world population having electricity access by the blue color, and by the green color you can see that what is the proportion of population with access to electricity. Then you can see that we have crossed the world, and almost everyone in India is having the access of electricity. And this is another figure from the IEA, and this is the source is IEA again. And here I would like to show you that what is the renewable energy and waste in electricity generation at the period of 1990 to 2017. So this is all the figure and the data is taken from the International Energy Agency report of 2019 annual report. And you can see that the hydropower is the largest source of renewable electricity. We used to call hydropower also as a part of renewable energy, and but the greatest growth in recent year has come from the wind, solar PV, and bioenergy. So you can very well see from the figure itself that this blue color is showing the hydro contribution, and green color is showing the bioenergy, and the wind is shown by the light blue color, and the solar is shown by the orange color, or sometime you can say that it's a dark yellow color. So you can see that in the world what is happening in the area of renewable energy and waste in electricity generation. So we can say that as far as renewable energy is concerned, the major chunk of contribution for the installed capacity is coming from the renewable hydropower as a source of renewable energy. But now we are seeing that everywhere this shift is going towards the solar PV, and especially in India, as I mentioned, we have a target of achieving 225 gigawatt by the end of 2022, only 2 years more. Then we are having the share of this much gigawatt, and out of this major share is coming, around 150 is coming from the solar PV. And in India we have an advantage also, almost 300 years in a year we are getting the good solar, and we can use that. And the solar only hassle and comparison with the coal earlier was that the cost, but now you can see that we are giving all the solar plant based on the competitive bidding. And the recently in my state, in Madhya Pradesh, we have done bidding at the rate of 2 rupees 20 paisa in the river, 500 megawatt solar pump. So even we are expecting in the future that this cost will goes down. So if we are getting per unit cost is around 2 rupees from solar PV, and definitely we know that the world is facing presently two major challenges. If anyone can ask you that what are the two major challenges which you can foresee in the world, then one challenge, excuse me, 1 second, from my office, actually, I'm getting a call. 1 second. Yeah. Hello. हाँ हाँ, तो अभी रख लो भैया, मेरी भी क्लास चल रही है 5 बजे तक, मैं कल ले लूंगी, उसको संभाल के रख लो. हाँ 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 हाँ, करा दो. अभी मैं क्लास ले रही हूँ, फिर बाद में बात करती हूँ. Sorry for the disturbance. So I was discussing the cost of the solar PV, and if this cost is reducing, and